Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have my recording from my presentation at Deco Summit. They recorded and sent it back to me. I had every intention of recording it myself on my GoPro and wearing a microphone for good audio and everything. And I got down there and my GoPro wouldn't work. It wouldn't even turn on. I charged it the whole night and I get down there. It's like 5 minutes before I have to speak and I'm trying to set it up on my tripod and it would not turn on. And I'm like, and Joe and his wife were right there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And I was just like, well, whatever, just got to run it. But luckily, Ricoma recorded all of the sessions because they sold them to the attendees, like, because you can't make every single session because multiple people are speaking at the same time and they have other classes and stuff. So luckily they were able to send me my recording. Now it doesn't start right at the beginning. So the beginning is cut off and the Q&A is cut off. So that's kind of a bummer, but maybe the audio was just bad. I don't know. So the Q&A at the very end is cut off. And then it's like the first, I don't know, probably minute or so of my introduction that isn't there. So it kind of just like starts real abruptly, but I will just tell you guys right here before I play that for you guys. I basically just said, like, this is my opinion. This is how I run my business at home. There are a lot of people who think that work-life balance is a myth, that it's not possible, that it's, you know, whatever. There's even people that will go so far as to say it's complete BS and you absolutely can't have it. Again, this is how I run my business at home. Everything that I'm going to explain in this talk is how I run my business at home. Not perfectly, of course, but how I try to run my business at home. We all have, you know, different circumstances, different values, different things that we find important in our lives. And I couldn't possibly speak to every single work-life situation. I just can't. I would be talking for ever. Okay. I can't address every single situation. You know, and like for me, it's my faith and my family. My faith and my family are the most important things in my life. I said in the beginning of my talk that you will never hear me say that your business should be the most important thing in your life. You will never hear me say that you should sacrifice every single thing working on your business. I would never say that because I don't believe that. I don't sacrifice everything for my business. Do I sacrifice long hours? Yeah, absolutely. Do I sacrifice, you know, sleep? Yeah, when I have to, but I don't sacrifice my faith and I don't sacrifice my family. I will not do that on the altar of a business. That's just me, you know, but I am a wife and I have 3 children and I do not want my children to grow up thinking that my business was more important than them. That's something that I find very, very important in how I run my business. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you have employees, you know, and it's easier for you to have, you know, a personal life or, you know, that, like I said, there's so many different situations that we could find ourselves in. I couldn't possibly speak to every single one. So with that being said, from this talk, take what works for you, mold it to fit your business, mold it to fit your life and your values, and just take what you need, leave the rest. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Again, this is just how I run my business from home, how I find balance between work and home when they exist under the same roof. And I hope I can help you guys too. I also want to say my voice might sound like a little weird because there was a speaker like just to the left of me and it almost like echoed. Like I would say something and then like a quarter of a second, half a second later, I would hear it on the speaker. So it was like really, really hard for me to keep track of what I wanted to say. So that was really, really difficult, but I'm glad I have the recording. It's all good. So I hope you guys enjoy this presentation and I'll talk to you soon. When we think about work-life balance, we often think of them on separate scales, right? We have work over here and life and home and everything else over here, and they're constantly opposing and fighting each other. But what I want us to do is ditch having them on separate scales and have them on one scale. There's a way, in my opinion, that we can have them work together in a smooth, cohesive way, okay? So now that we got all of that out of the way, hello. If you are here, it is because you desire to make your own schedule, be your own boss, set your own routines, be able to go to a movie during the middle of the day, take breaks whenever you want, run a home-based business that is successful, and keep your home life in order, all while keeping your sanity at the same time. Is that easier said than done? Maybe so, huh? So, who am I? My name is Kayla Creasy. I am the owner and operator of Stitch NV, an embroidery and custom apparel shop in Northern Nevada. Whoops, sorry. When I started, I had an Etsy shop, and I just embroidered a simple name on baby blankets, and I did like cricket vinyl onesies, and it was great. I was thriving in 2020 and 2021, like a lot of people, and then it just got oversaturated, and my Etsy just died. Like, I was lucky to get one sale a month, like just kaput. I came to Deco Summit for the first time in 2022, and I met amazing people that do custom B2B, business-to-business apparel. I went home, changed my whole business model, and I have been doubling in growth year over year since. It has absolutely changed how I run my business. I am also a YouTuber and content creator. I am the smallest YouTuber here, so I appreciate how many are in here compared to who's next door, because he has a massive platform. He's amazing. I am also a wife to an amazing husband. I am a mother to 3 children, one of them a 5-month-old, and an amateur homesteader, and I homeschool my children. So I wear a lot of hats, as I'm sure you guys do too. My goal with this presentation is to help you have a healthy balance between work and home when they're under the same roof. So I would like to see a raise of hands. Do you guys already have an established home business? Are you just getting started? Anybody? Home? Okay, yeah. So we're all here to find that perfect, healthy balance. Why have a healthy balance? It is so easy to get burnt out and lose sight of your business goals. It's easy for your home and your personal life to suffer at the expense of growing a business. Competition for embroidery businesses keep growing and growing, but being dedicated, disciplined, and putting in the work will make the difference. Balancing your passion, making a profit, and keeping your personal life intact is tedious, but completely doable. So I have 4 main points for you guys today. So if you guys are note takers, go ahead and write these down. Number 1, managing your time with intention. Number 2, prioritizing your health and well-being. Number 3, building systems to reduce stress. And number 4, be flexible where it matters. We're also, hopefully, if I don't go too long, gonna have time for questions after. Number 1, managing your time with intention. This is going to be our longest point during this session, just so you guys know. The first key to balance and having everything run with cohesion is managing your time well and with intention. So let's start with what it means to be intentional. To be intentional is to act with deliberate awareness, purpose, and a clear goal in mind. When we run an embroidery business, especially from home, we wear often every single hat that there is when it comes to running a business. We are the production managers, we do shipping, we do social media, we do customer service, and then at home we're spouses, parents, friends, we're involved in our communities, and there's so many things to keep in mind so that we can be intentional with every single hat that we wear. Okay? If you don't manage your time well and with intention, it's going to be 5 p.m. and you're not going to have had anything done. Have you ever been there? Because I know I have. You're like, oh, where'd the day go? And I haven't done a single thing on my to-do list. So what is step number one? Step number one is be realistic with your turnaround times on your jobs. Do not promise something in 2 days if you are not 100% positive you can't get it done. I personally do not do anything less than about 5 days, just because I want to give myself that buffer time to order something in case I mess up or have to order another transfer or need to reprint something. Give yourself time so that you're not stressing out. If you get it done early, your customer's going to be happy that it didn't take so long. You're less stressed. It's really a win-win. And also, just a side note, use CYA words, cover your butt, like approximately. This will be approximately 5 to 7 business days. Okay? Using words like that, again, help alleviate stress. Because you're not, okay, it's been 5 days on the dot, I really just need that one extra day. You've given yourself that buffer. There are many, many ways to be intentional with your schedule and how you do your jobs, how you do your production. And my personal favorite is a block schedule. This is my personal block schedule of just last week. It was actually a very, very light week for me. I had most of my schedule just getting ready for Deco Summit, but you can see me personally, I color code everything. I'm up at 6 a.m., I do my Bible study. I will be honest, working out does not happen, even though I write it down. But it's there, and sometimes it happens, and I have it blocked. Then we do breakfast, and like I said earlier, I homeschool my children, so we do that roughly at the same time every day. And then I work in the afternoon. I personally, because I have so much going on, only work a couple days. So, like I said a minute ago, in your turnaround time, sometimes my turnaround time is 21 days. It's just how it has to be. If they go somewhere else, then I have to be okay with that. It's just one of those things where it is what it is, honestly. Oh, thank you. My birthday was on Sunday. Oh, I forgot to put that there. I had to schedule that because my husband had stuff planned. So I love a block schedule because the way my brain works, when I see things in different colors and put into different blocks, it tells my brain, okay, it's time to work now. It can trick your brain into not being lazy. Okay, it's 9 a.m., we're gonna press shirts for 30 minutes. At 10, we're gonna do emails. At 11, I'm gonna post my TikTok. At 1, yada, 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 okay? It just really tells your brain, okay, it's time to work, okay? And then we don't have that thing where it's like, oh, shoot, it's 4 o'clock and I didn't do a single thing. Now, there are times where this doesn't work, because what if things take longer than what you thought it was gonna be? What if you had constant needle breaks and you're like, I didn't get these hats done in the hour that I allotted? We're gonna talk about being flexible later, but you're at least putting it into your brain that, okay, it's work time, it's not personal time, this is my schedule. Now, if you don't like block schedules, then I would suggest doing category lists instead of just a general to-do list. To-do lists can get very, very long, okay? Especially if you are a stay-at-home mom like I am. You've got dishes, hats, DTF shirts, laundry. That's what my typical to-do list looks like anyways. So, if I have a light week, I will separate into categories instead of doing a block schedule. I will do personal work or must do if there's time. Okay, separating things into categories instead of just a long to-do list helps you see what's time sensitive and what's not as time sensitive. And then you can get that little dopamine rush that we all love of crossing stuff off of your list. Okay, sometimes I'll add stuff to my list that wasn't on there before just so I can cross it off. It's that little dopamine rush. So I also want you to remember to not let your to-do list be the boss of you. Whether you have a block schedule or a to-do list, we need to remember that we're the ones in control of our to-do list, not our to-do list in control of us. Okay? Be intentional with your time. Be disciplined with your time. Manage your time well and with intention by batching your tasks. What do I mean like this? What do I mean about this? Well, this can look different depending on what your schedule is per day. Like I said, I can only work a couple hours a day. So, for instance, last week I had 150 DTF shirts to press, front left chest and back. One day I did the front left chest. The second day I did the back, the third day I folded. Separating them into days is just what I have to do with my schedule because I can't work a full 8-hour day. Maybe you can. Maybe you can do that whole day or that whole order in one day. Or maybe you have 2 heat presses. Maybe you have an employee. Like I said earlier, there's so many different situations in this room. This is going to look different for everybody. But keeping them together and batching them and creating sort of an assembly line will help you stay organized and on track. Protect your time, mental health, and avoid unnecessary stress by planning realistically. There's so many times, you guys, where I will say, oh, that's a future Kayla problem. Well, guess what? Future Kayla's mad because past Kayla should have just done what needed to be done. And now this Kayla's stressed and overwhelmed. So protect yourself by planning realistically. Manage your time with intention by having non-negotiables. I have non-negotiables between my work and my home life. I will not work after my husband gets home from his work. That is our time. Full stop, 5 o'clock. I am getting dinner ready. It is family time. I also will not work Friday nights or Sundays. Friday nights are family movie night. Non-negotiable. If there's something that dire for me to get done, I will stay up late Thursday night or I will do it Saturday. It's a non-negotiable in my house. Your non-negotiables can be either for your personal life or your business. Maybe it's, I will not scroll on TikTok during business hours because we know what a time waster that can be, right? Again, oh shoot, it's 4 o'clock. I will not be online outside of my scheduled time block. Maybe you say, okay, I'm gonna give myself from 11 to 11:30 on my block schedule to just scroll aimlessly. Schedule that for yourself if you need to. And again, I will not work weekends. All of our non-negotiables are going to be different. So I want you to think about what non-negotiable you can have that will separate your work life from your personal life to help you have that balance. Manage your time well and with intention by having boundaries with customers. Who here has a hard time not answering questions after business hours? Anybody? I have had people message me at 11:30 at night, 5 o'clock in the morning,
And you feel like you have to respond because people know that you work from home, so they assume you're on your phone and that you're at their beck and call. I asked on my Instagram about a month ago when I was getting ready for this presentation what the hardest thing is about working from home. And the number one response I got was people texting me on the weekends, after hours. You know, I don't want to be rude, but professionally, do I respond? Do I just leave it? And there comes a point in your business, and I suggest doing this early on, to be firm and not care, in a sense, not be rude, but you have to separate your emotions from your business. And I will message somebody back at 8 a.m. the next morning and say, hi, I just got into the office, or I just checked my business account and just saw this. So, you know, it helps put it in their mind again that you're an actual business to be taken seriously. I know I find this really hard because I live in a very small town. People know that I am at home with my kids and that, you know, I work from a studio at home, and they take advantage of that, whether intentionally or unintentionally. It's very easy to get taken advantage of. So be firm. Constantly restate your business hours, of course, in a nice professional way, you know, and you can have automations for this. If it's people messaging you on Facebook, maybe you have an automatic message that says, hi, we'll get back to you during such and such hours, okay? So having set working hours published not only helps you, but again, it helps your customers. They're constantly saying, okay, this is an actual business to take seriously, not just me, Susie Homemaker. Okay. Number 2, prioritize your health and well-being. I am not, just so you guys know, going to tell you you need to get up at 3 o'clock and work out for an hour. That's not where this is going, okay? But what I do want us to see is that when we work from home, it's very easy to get lazy. Okay, we see the comfy couch, we know the new snacks we just got, we know what's on Netflix, and then again, it's 5 o'clock and you don't have anything done. You know, maybe you had to go take a nap because you had such a big breakfast. It's very, very easy to get lazy at home. When you're in your workspace, be there. Know that you're at work. Even if it's the second half of your kitchen table, tell yourself, I'm at work right now, and I'm gonna take this seriously. I'm gonna be intentional, and I'm gonna be disciplined. Running a home business makes it easy to forget your own health. We skip meals, we go for the quick, sugary junk snack. It's easy to do, okay? Have you ever heard the phrase that a business is only as good as its weakest employee? Yeah. Well, when we work from home, a lot of times we're our own employee, right? So we're our own weakest link when we work at home by ourselves. So we need to keep ourselves relatively healthy so that we don't suffer both physically and mentally when we run our businesses from home. So how do we do that? Take breaks when you need to. Don't abuse this. Okay, we sit at our computers digitizing for long hours. We sit at our machines for long hours. We get cricks in our neck. Take a break. Go on a 5-minute walk in your neighborhood. Stand up, stretch your shoulders. A quick walk to go check on your garden real quick. I mean, it could be anything. Whatever it is that you would consider a break, just make sure you do that during your work time. Get noise-canceling headphones if you need to, because the monotony of the embroidery machines, it can give you a headache. Now, if you have kids at home like I do, maybe not the noise canceling. Well, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Second, check your ergonomics. If you do digitizing at home, do you have a chair that's going to give you proper support? If you're looking at a screen for hours at a time, get blue blocker glasses so your eyes aren't strained. Long hours and poor posture affect your business and your personal life. That's just a fact. If you're suffering because you have a crick in your neck and you can't move, your business is going to suffer. Number 3, don't neglect food and hydration. It sounds so simple, but like I said, many of us, we skip meals because we get so busy. We forget to drink water. It's just how it is sometimes. It's very, very easy to do. Or we will eat something so heavy and so full of sugar that we'll just want to go crash and take a nap. I've been there, so I'm speaking from experience. Keep water in your workstation, Gatorade, something with electrolytes, just that's gonna keep you going, okay? Something that's gonna keep you going. Point number 3, build systems that reduce stress. This is very important. Systems save your brain power, especially if these systems can be automated. Create templates for things like quotes, invoices, and customer emails. There are many, many apps to be able to do this. I personally use the Notes app on my iPhone like crazy. You guys should see everything that I have on there. I copy and paste that thing like crazy, from social media captions to how I want to word an email or a text. If you're texting a customer, I highly suggest writing it in your notes first so that you don't accidentally send it before you're ready, you want to reword something. Use apps like that to generate what you want to say and then copy and paste it, okay? And this works for me because I always have my phone on me. I don't always have a pen and paper, but I always have my phone on me, okay? Have a dedicated workspace at home. This is very hard because we all have different size homes. We all have different things at our disposal that we can use for our business. I don't care if it's the second half of your kitchen table, a she shed out back, a garage, a spare bedroom. I don't care what it is. Have a dedicated workspace for your business. This is going to help you separate work from home. Now, obviously, if it's your kitchen table, it's a little harder to do, but I know that's where I started. And having that dedicated workspace just, again, helps your brain, okay, it's time to work now. I've clocked into my quote-unquote office. It's time to get to work, okay? Time is money. Have everything organized so that you know where it is. This includes threads, stabilizers, your files on your computer, blanks, shipping supplies, everything. Have it organized. The flow and location of where you put everything matters. If you have a spare room in your house and you have your thread over here and your stabilizer over here and your machines are on the opposite wall, you're going to spend most of your day going back and forth, wasting time. The flow matters. So if this is you right now, think about how you can have everything work with cohesion in a smooth way. Organize your jobs accordingly. This is very important, and I have a real-life example for you. I had 2 jobs that got this same exact dark heather gray, and guess who mixed up which ones got what transfers? I did not have them organized, and it was very costly because I had to reorder everything, shirts, transfers, everything, and fix my mistake. If you have to work on one job at a time, that's fine. I give you permission to do what you need to do in your business. All of ours are different. If you are fantastic at multitasking and can see that, then I applaud you. I am not one of those people. I have to do one job at a time, okay? And I don't know, it's kind of funny thinking about just all of the mistakes that are easily made. Don't be afraid to outsource, okay? Sorry, I messed up my page. Thinking that everything falls on you is a very quick way for your business to suffer. You do not have to do everything. I do not do my own digitizing. I did my research and I found a couple reputable digitizers that I send it to. I will send them to the design and have it back, usually in less than 24 hours, and I'm good to go. You guys saw how many hats I wear with kids, my home, work, homestead, everything. I know that I physically and mentally cannot take on digitizing, so I outsource it. Do what you have to do and outsource with what makes sense for your business. So like I said, if digitizing takes too much time, outsource it, okay? If bookkeeping stresses you out, outsource it. We should be outsourcing what we don't want to do so that we can focus on the things that we do want to do. I want to sit at my machine and make cool stuff. I want to be the one that stitches out the hat for my customer. That's what I want to do. So that's not what I outsource. If you're not good at formulating customer service emails, use ChatGPT. Something as simple as that can help you word an email correctly. Now, I will say sometimes you don't want to copy it word for word because you don't want to sound like a robot to your customer. You still want to sound like a human being. So change words if you need to. Don't copy and paste words that you don't normally use in real life, big fancy words. If that's not you in real life, change just the couple words so that you don't sound like a robot, okay? These systems free you up to focus on your creativity and running your business smooth and effectively instead of constantly worrying about the little details. Now, the little details are important, of course. So when we outsource, we need to make sure it's somebody who's reputable, and because it's ultimately your name on it, right? So you still want to make sure you're outsourcing to somebody that you trust. But I want you guys to leave here today, and hopefully you've been thinking about it, of what systems that you can put in place when you get home. Do you need to batch your tasks better? Do you need to find a digitizer? Do you need to, have a block schedule? Think about what you want to implement when you get home. Make a list and execute them one by one. Outsourcing doesn't mean that you're failing. It means you're protecting your energy for the parts of your business that only you can do and that you want to do. Do not think that you are failing if you have to outsource. Thinking that everything has to fall on us is a very quick way for you to get burnt out. Trust me on this. Number 4, be flexible where it matters the most. We're going to go back to my block schedule for a minute. Last Tuesday, my son got his braces off. I had to block out that whole day, and I knew I was not going to get to work except for maybe a very little bit of time at the end of the day. Ended up not happening. Guess what? It happens. It's okay. It's okay to move things around. Be flexible as parents and friends and members of our community and just human beings in general. Life happens. Okay? It's okay. Also, I have a 5-month-old. Do you think my 5-month-old follows my block schedule? Absolutely not. Okay? These things get moved around. Sometimes I will move my work to the morning and we will do our homeschool in the afternoon, especially in the summer. I live in Nevada, it's hot and dry, I don't have air conditioning. I will do my heat press work in the morning before it gets hot, okay? Move things around if you need to, be flexible, but again, don't abuse it. Don't move things around so much that now you have everything left to do at the end of the week. Be flexible, but within reason, okay? Like I said earlier, I don't want my children in my home to suffer because of my business. But my business is also very important to me, okay? We went through that at the beginning. We all have different circumstances that we find ourselves in. Be flexible, in my opinion, more so towards your personal life, so that that doesn't suffer, okay? There are times where it's like, gosh, you know what, guys? We need a break. We need to just go to the park for an hour. Let's go to the swim center. Work can wait. This schedule helps me to keep all of that together, okay? So being flexible helps keep you from overwhelm, being burnt out, and it helps us keep what's important to us at the forefront. So hopefully I didn't go through all of that too fast because we are at our last slide. To recap, managing your time with intention, prioritizing your health and well-being, building systems to reduce stress, and being flexible where it matters will help you have that healthy work-life balance that we all seek. But I want us to leave here with this in mind, okay? We all want to have a successful business, right? And we all want that perfect balance. We all want everything to go smooth. It's not going to happen on its own. And so I'm going to conclude here today with a little bit of tough love. This is my beautiful family. This is my why. This is my motivation. That man and these 3 children are why I do what I do. But my motivation and my why only get me so far. You have to be disciplined. Discipline and motivation are very, very different. You can have all the motivation in the world, but if you do not have the discipline to do what it needs to be done, then it's never gonna happen, okay? The whole goal of entrepreneurship is getting away from a 9-to-5, right? Being your own boss, setting your own schedule. Oftentimes, we lose this balance, we lose focus, and now our businesses are running us, right? Yeah, I've been there. We have to have discipline. If we're having a hard time and working ourselves so hard into the ground running our businesses, then we might as well have just kept our 9-to-5. It was easier. We could clock out at the end of the day and, it's somebody else's problem. Well, our businesses fall on us. We have to be intentional with our time, with our whys. We have to be disciplined. Running a home business does not mean that you have to sacrifice balance. Like I said in the beginning, I will not tell you that you have to sacrifice every waking moment working on your business. In the beginning, yes, it might seem like that, but you build that foundation so that you can have smooth sailing later on. Small habits every single day lead up to that freedom that we all want so bad. Okay, and we can have a healthier business, a healthier life, and a healthier work-life balance.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it cut off the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in my next video.